Everybody, it's your girl, Coach Christal. Welcome to another installment of Wisdom Wednesday. And I usually introduce myself as Coach Christal, but tonight is such a special night. I need to introduce myself as Jackie's daughter, Maurice's daughter, Reese's sister, and a little girl from the K. If you don't know what that means, you will understand as we get into our conversation tonight with the Brown Family Memorial Scholarship recipients for 2023. If you are just joining us, I want to welcome you into our community with the same mantra that we start each and every one of our instances or exchanges with. And it just says that a lot of things happen before this. And I guarantee a lot of things are going to happen after this. But I promise to be here with you now. Please be here with me now. As a little girl from the South, I grew up hearing things like tomorrow is not promised. And it is true. And I think that we understand that through the global pandemic of COVID and everything that has happened, that tomorrow is not promised. And I realized that when both of my parents passed away, that the average time most people are remembered is about 5 years after their death. And this is the 5th year anniversary of the Brown Family Memorial Scholarship and the 5th year anniversary of my mother, Jackie Brown's passing. And so it's important to me to continue to keep this legacy alive. So the backstory of this legacy is really that I grew up in Kinston at a time where you could get a whooping from the neighbor, and you could always have somewhere to go if you were hungry, and that everybody had some place or someone to answer to after school, on the weekends, and especially during the summer. It could have been Holloway Swim Camp, Emma Webb. It could have been anywhere around the territory of Kinston. It was a time where I'm the generation that drank from the water hose and rode their bikes across dangerous places to get to their friends' houses. And it was before social media. So there was a lot of times where we were figuring things out by the process of doing. The backstory is that it's been a few years since I've graduated from high school, and I know that the temperature and climate of my hometown have changed, but I want to continue to support the legacy that community matters and that we take care of each other in all the ways that we can. So tonight, I want to have a conversation with the 2 recipients of the 2023 Brown Family Memorial Scholarship. And if this is something you'd like to contribute to, you can go to brownfamilyscholarship.com and make a donation to make sure that we continue to be able to support these young people year after year. This year's recipients are Jada and Derrian. Now, Derrian, I'm always going to remember because I have a nephew named Derrian. But Jada Sutton and Derrian Wilson are also very important to me because they have aspirations to not only do the work that's in their heart, but to also give back to their community. So help me welcome this year's recipients, Jada Sutton and Derrian Wilson. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
How y'all doing?
Good. How about you?
Good. I'm amazing, as always. I try to just be amazing. I want you to introduce yourselves to our community and just tell them a little bit about who you are, what you're aspiring to as you go off to college, and what made you apply for this scholarship. Jada, ladies first.
Okay. Of course, my name is Jada Sutton, and I plan on attending A&T for nursing. A lot of things inspired me, especially in the community, knowing there's nothing to do here, like at all. So we don't have a mall anymore. We have to go all the way to Goldsboro or Greenville just to do something, just to have fun. Can't go to skate. Grew up, so yeah, it's a lot, but that's what I aspire to be. Nursing, just to give back, come at home, work in the hospital maybe, or in Greensboro, just to give back.
Okay, Derrian, what's going on? What's next?
Y'all already know I'm Derrian Wilson. I'm attending UNC Chapel Hill next fall, and I think my biggest aspiration was just seeing a whole lot of things going on in my community and also around the world as well. I plan on going to college to study political science and also business administration. I aspire to be an attorney, and I want to come back and help out the community in any way and form. So yeah, that's my biggest aspiration, I believe.
All right. So y'all, let's just get down to it. If there was one thing, if you had a magic wand, one thing you could do for the Kinston, North Carolina community right now, what would you do?
More activities.
More activities for
Definitely, definitely
Yes,
that.
we bored.
okay.
Definitely that.
Okay, right. Okay, right.
Like
Okay,
you
so
said,
let's just be real out there. Like y'all, my age group, we grew up there, and when we got bored, we got into trouble. But you know what? Nobody knows because nobody had a phone. Right? We did a lot of crazy things, right? But now it's the stakes are much higher, right? Because your mistakes can get recorded, branded to the universe, right? And you can't sometimes outlive that. So one, we need more places for young people in Kinston to be able to go as an outlet. What else, Derrian? What else we need?
I really don't know. Like she said, I really like that's my biggest thing. I feel as if it's not places for us as young folks to go, and the younger generations. I feel as if it's not really a lot of things here that we can do, and we have to go to like Greenville, Goldsboro to actually do activities. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I say as well, and also like people taking like education more seriously and having like better like future goals and things like that too, because
Mhm.
it's more to the world than just Kinston.
Well, that is true. But I think what happens is that when people don't have options, they don't even believe in options, right?
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
like if you're in it, like if you just think about like a small pet, like you have a parakeet in a little cage. If you take him out, he don't know to fly up in the tree, right? He's just like, let me just go back and eat my little, some water over here. Let me fly. Right. So what would inspire people to go beyond the thought, the mental process, or the mental walls of a small town? What do you think?
I don't know. I think my biggest thing was like seeing like social media and also being like growing up. I was always told there's like more to life than just cancer, and also like traveling at a young age too, like
Mhm.
going out into like exploring different opportunities and things like that. I think that's the biggest thing and factor.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Jada?
Um, Volunteering is what helped me in getting into different clubs and stuff throughout the
Mhm.
schools. Like I went to Chapel Hills Medical Camp, and it was great. Been to A&T a couple of times. Just
Mhm.
getting out there and doing stuff. I think that's what it is. Like you have to put yourself out there to even be considered to see more of the world.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is good because I'm often, maybe y'all don't know, but I'm also a college professor, right? And so when people come to the college where I teach, people your age, I often see that they're afraid to put themselves out there, right? So what's the fear of putting yourself out there? Where does that come from?
Your peers, like being ashamed that what they're gonna think that oh
Mm,
she just gonna be the teacher's pet, like she just gonna be out there, she always gonna do something, like just hearing that behind you or just hearing it by yourself or with somebody, it's gonna take you back, it's gonna hold you back.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Darren, what you got?
I'll say like the fear of rejection, because like there may be times people may have heard like no a lot of times, or I feel as if that's a big factor as well.
Yeah, yeah. Now y'all don't know me because I'm just a couple years older than you, just a little bit. But let me just tell you a quick story about being rejected. Okay, so first of all, I grew up in 80s, 90s, where number one, Jada, dark skinned girls were not cute, and my lips just grew into my body maybe 15 years ago. So I had big pink lips, and I was dark skinned, and I was rejected in a lot of ways. Right. I had to grow out of that, and then all of a sudden I got this dance thing going, and people in Kinston told me that dance was not a real job, and that the only thing I'd be able to do was come back and be a dance teacher. And there's some people who are in Kinston right now who are still waiting on me to come and open a dance studio. It still might happen, y'all, but you just listen. That's another conversation, right? But what happened was I then had this plan for my life to go to college, like y'all are about to do. And I then thought the only thing I could do was come back to Kinston and open a dance studio. But what happened is that my dad died the year before I was going to graduate from college. And he died, and that just kind of shifted my whole mentality of what was possible and what was necessary. And so then I kind of struck out on this kind of move to New York. I flew to New York the day after I graduated from college and began a professional dance career that I never thought I was good enough to have, but because I kept saying yes and believing in myself, it kept opening doors, right? And so I wanted to just want to say that out loud because there are a lot of people who are giving you information and advice about a life they have never tried to live. And that part is where we have to kind of stop and remember that even your peers who might be, throwing shade or might be the naysayers or might be afraid to put themselves out there, they're trying to give you advice on something that they're too afraid to do. And so when we overcome the fear, we actually are able to step into the bigger version of ourselves. So fear of rejection, Derrian said, and then fear or kind of setbacks or nagging from your peers that might keep you down. What's a way that both of you have been able to overcome those things? Because apparently you're sitting here and you're about to go to college. So those little voices obviously didn't win, Jada, and you haven't been rejected enough to stop working, Derrian. So what is it?
I'll say my like goals for my future because I think my biggest fear, like personally, is like not being successful. So I always like kept that in the back of my mind, like I want like a great lifestyle, I want a great future for myself. So I always like focused on my future goals and my inspiration as well.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest thing, like to no, that was the reason why I kept pushing myself so hard to like go on to do better, bigger and better things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now,
My
oh, go ahead, Jada. Go ahead.
yeah, mine was motivation. Like I created a vision board and seeing stuff that I want,
Mm-hmm.
setting goals for myself, like the smaller goals, so I can get to the bigger goals. Doing even though people don't think the New Year resolutions, I do those to help me build myself up. So that's what helped me.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know it's some people watching Jada and Darian, and they probably my age or older, but I just need to say to them, I hope y'all hear this because some of us are really trying to overcome the same hurdles that have been in front of us since we were these people's age, right? Mm-hmm. Since we were trying to figure out if we could be motivated enough to do it, if we could create the vision board and actually take steps towards it daily, if we could find something so big in our future self that we would believe in ourselves right now and keep taking the steps. Right. I mean, Jada, Darian, I preach about this almost every week, in the Church of Steps and Stages, but I'm just saying there are people out there who are still growing into this motivation and self-love that you're working on too. And I want you to understand that it's a lifelong process, right? You're not going to hit the top of the mountain and then everything's going to be gravy. You're going to get to level 4 and then you're going to be like, yo, I can see level 5 now, when before you couldn't even see level 2. And then you're going to have to work and change and get to level 5. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I can touch level 7. Right. And then you're going to have to get to the motivation and the future you perspective to get to level 7. So if we could just pause for a second, today is July 5th, 2023. If I ran into y'all on July 5th, let's say 2027, okay, you're graduated from college, tell me in your future self voice what you're about to do. I'll give you a second. Have you ready?
First.
July 5th in 2027. I want to be somewhere like enjoying life. Well, on vacation, like celebrate me graduating college. But I've also got in my mind, in the back of my mind, that I'm about to go to law school for another 2 to 3 years to chase my dream that I've dreamed of since I was a teenager, basically since my high school year, since about 2019, 2020. So I feel as if it's like a next big step and one step closer to my ultimate goal of becoming an attorney.
Okay, so let me just be clear with y'all. They don't know this, y'all, so just let's help them out. I am the vision coach. I believe that as clearly as you can see it, it will become your life. So I need to know, where are you on vacation?
I really don't know. Probably
Oh,
somewhere like
you gonna have to pick.
Jamaica, the Bahamas,
Okay.
Puerto Rico.
What? Two different places. Derrian, Jamaica, or the Bahamas.
Well, hell no.
Pick one.
I'll say Bahamas.
Okay, you went to the Bahamas. How many people you got with you?
Yeah, I'll say just one person.
Okay, you staying in a resort or Airbnb?
Resort.
Okay, is this the one person? Is this your homeboy or your girlfriend?
My girlfriend. Definitely.
Okay, all right, okay. Now we out here. How many days we staying?
We staying the whole week. Matter of fact, nah, we staying 2 weeks. We just
Okay,
graduated
we're here for 2 weeks, right? Because we're about to go back to law school. Now, when we go back, where are you going to law school? What's your top choice?
That's a hard question. I don't know if I want to do Central my top choice right now, or like maybe like Yale, like an Ivy League school for law school. I have no clue yet.
Okay, all right. And so when you get back, you know you don't know what city you're moving to quite yet. So in the interim, where are you going to stay? You going back to Chapel Hill? You going to Kent? What you going to do? Where you staying?
I'll say somewhere in the Triangle, like Raleigh, Durham area. So yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, when we get off this recording, you're going to need to go back and listen to this recording and write that down so you can measure from this day to the end if your future self was saying the right things.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You ready, Jada?
Yeah, I'm ready.
July 5th, 2027.
Okay, so just finished graduating.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably just had a party with some of my family. Little thank you, congratulations, having a little grill, cookout, whatever. Okay. So then preparing myself to go on vacation. So stay around for 2 weeks.
Where we going?
I'm feeling Dominican Republic. I don't know.
Okay, you feeling DR? All right.
Yeah. Or let's see, what's the other one? Dubai, maybe. Dubai.
Okay, now this is very different. Dubai or DR? Come on now.
Because I like both.
Okay, you like both.
We're gonna do Dominican Republic. We're going out.
Okay, we'll do DR right now. It's graduation. Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So we're staying for 2 weeks. I'm bringing. I think we got to go. I'm bringing a couple of people.
Okay.
Bring my mom, my dad, stepdad, my boyfriend.
Okay.
Cousins or 2, maybe. I don't think I all my siblings, but maybe just one.
Okay, all right. We're doing it family style.
Yeah, not too many though. Not too many.
I like so we're at a resort or Airbnb because you
we at Airbnb because it's too many people.
Okay.
Yep. We eating out, having a good time. Come back after, cause I am going to school for my master's, so I can't live it up too much.
You can.
But you can't. You gotta save some for later, cause you get your master's, so you gotta do a bid. You gotta do a bid.
Oh, okay. Because it's gonna be maybe that's Dubai.
Yeah, see.
Okay, see, I like it.
You gotta do a bid. So doing that, hanging out with friends a couple of times, doing some relaxation. I think that's the vibe right now.
Okay. And then when you get back, where you gonna be?
I'm gonna try to stay in Greensboro. Somewhere up there.
You gonna try or you gonna stay?
I'm gonna stay, but I'm just want to see what it's about.
Okay.
So to see if I want to move or go somewhere further. To go back to a rural area. I don't know yet.
Okay. All right. Now I just want to take y'all through this exercise because I don't know if there's anybody in your family or anybody in your immediate community who loves to dream with you. You understand? Yes, and it was one of the most valuable things I ever learned how to do. And it wasn't my family that taught me. My mother was not the one that was like, yeah, let's go be a dancer. She was like, and what else? Right? So when I went to college, I got a degree in dance and a degree in business. And it wasn't that my mother wasn't supportive. She had just never seen what I was trying to do. Right? And I had never seen it either. So I'm somebody's mama now. So I understand that when someone's trying to do something that someone you love is trying to do something you've never seen before and you don't know how to help them, the first reaction is to get scared, right? You get a little scared and you start telling them all the things that they need to be thinking about or that could go wrong because you don't see failure as an option. But I want y'all to hear me very clearly that there are going to be some failures, but the failure is only feedback for the next time you try. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Failure does not make the game over. Failure is just like a momentary timeout where you're like, oh, okay, that's what I did. I need to slow that part down. Let me try again. Right? So as you're going into this new stage of life, tell me right now what you are most afraid of.
Like you just said, failure. Right.
Yeah.
Like I said before, my biggest fear is being unsuccessful. So I think my biggest fear right now is going to college, like not forgetting who I am, but like, failing like multiple times and not, you know, living up to the expectation I set for myself.
Okay. So you've defined your own success. That's one, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the only person that can deem you as successful or not is you, right? So
Yes,
it might you take listen, I teach at the number 4 liberal arts college in the country. If you have to take a class more than once, that's not a failure. That means you're in college and you're learning.
yes, ma'am.
Right? College doesn't mean come be an expert. It means come and keep learning. Right? And a lot of people get that confused. Jada, what you scared of?
I think I'm scared of failure too because nursing, I believe, is one of the hardest majors out there because you can't get after a C, like that's it. Like some schools, you can't even retry for the class. Like you have to go somewhere else just to even continue doing the nursing. Um, yeah, with my classes, anatomy, I just did anatomy 1, so I saved anatomy 2 for my first year in college. So I think, trying to pass these classes and balancing the social life and relaxing just to have something to myself, I think that's going to be one of the hardest things.
Okay, just remember that you're there to learn. Now, you know what I'm not hearing here, y'all, is that do you have mentors?
I
Yes,
don't.
ma'am. I have a couple.
Okay, and are they lawyers, Derrian?
Ma'am?
Are they lawyers?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And mentors that are nurses, Jada?
No.
Okay, let me just say this right here. Hey, this is Coach Christal talking to everybody that's watching, or if you need to share this video to somebody, I got 2 young people here who want to be nurses and lawyers. I know a whole lot of nurses and a whole lot of lawyers. I need you to comment below and I need you to connect with these young people. I will personally introduce you because I can't give them advice on something I don't know how to do. Right, we got somebody in the chat now. We need some lawyers. Exactly, Juanisha. Let's get it. All right, we're going to get some other people in this conversation, y'all. And we're going to get you some mentors because you just need to be able to ask questions about the things you haven't done yet. Right? That sound fair? Look, Millie Wilson. I'm a registered nurse, Jada. Okay, she's right here. We're good. Millie, please drop your email address in my so we can get you together. Do you know Millie, Jada?
It's
my mom.
Oh, this is too close. Y'all could have done this already. Get it. You understand? Okay, so I want to just illuminate something for you right now that I think your generation really struggles with. Both of y'all, your generation struggles with saying what you don't know and what you don't have. Because you've grown up with things like this, like a whole universe in your pocket, and somebody has a question and you go find it somewhere without connecting to a person who knows how to do it or can teach you the information, right? Because information without experience really doesn't lead to anything but a lot of confusion and inner confidence issues. I can have all the information in the world, but if I don't have someone that can help me through it, I might just get overwhelmed. Make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're gonna get y'all some more people. I can't believe it's that close, Jada. Look now. Thank you, Millie. Appreciate you. Keep this right. Look at this. All right, so we've talked about some of your fears. We've talked about some of the ways that y'all have persevered, even in an environment that may not have been the most overflowing with opportunities, right? But I think I just want to say that I want you to continue to be of the mindset that there is something more and the world gets bigger every time you say yes, right? And every time you hit a challenge, it doesn't mean that you got to be the warrior and power your way through it alone. It means that you got to connect to the people who have fought this battle before, get some better strategic advice so that you don't have to find every pothole and every everything that stopped them from going forward, right? Because there are a lot of ways that we can learn from other people's mistakes, and it doesn't mean that we're skipping anything. It just means that why would I put myself through that when I already know how to not, feel the pain? You understand what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
So, any last thoughts you want to leave the people with tonight? What's something that you just are excited about, something you're wishing for? You never know who's going to see this. They might just be ready to help in any way possible. What you got?
I'm excited to do some internships, meet people from outside of the United States,
Okay.
outside of North Carolina. I just want to meet new people.
Okay.
Like Jada
Just ready
said,
to step out there and get stuff done.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, what you got, Derrian?
like Jada said, internships, and I say new connections and stuff like that. Because I feel as if like college is the best way to connect with different people with different majors and stuff like that. Because as you go through life, you might need a nurse or somebody that's like an engineer or something like that. So I think I'm most excited to make new friends and new connections as I go throughout my college journey.
Okay, I'm going to hold both of you to that, okay? Because again, I see college students every day, and they get to college and they find one little group and they just stay with them for 4 years. I'm going to challenge y'all. I'm going to be checking up on you like, hey, did you make a new friend? Do they look like you? Do they speak the same language you speak? Are they from North Carolina? We're going to need to expand our territory, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, listen, I'm proud of both of you. It's a pleasure for me, honestly, a pleasure to be able to honor my parents and your hard work this way. And I want to be a resource to you. So stay in touch. Don't miss any opportunity to connect. You have my email address. We're going to get you everybody who's going to respond to this thread. These doctors, these nurses and lawyers that want to check in with you, I'm going to make sure you get their email addresses too. And I'm convinced that you are not going to be the end of this cycle of legacy in Kinston, and that we're going to keep on doing amazing things in every field because the K is strong. And, even though there's not a lot of things to do, it makes us more creative. Ingenuity runs in our blood. We got to be good at something, or we might just not fulfill our purpose. So congratulations, y'all. Stay with me backstage while I wrap up. It's a pleasure to have you. Everybody, please give these young people a round of applause. Like I said before, y'all, it is not just about legacy of my family. It's a town, it's a community, and we are trying to make sure that the next generation not only has everything they need to pursue their dreams, but a continual lifestyle in the town of Kinston that perpetuates creativity, community, and courage. If you are ready to contribute to this milestone, you can go over to brownfamilyscholarship.com and make a tax-deductible donation so that we can continue to feed the ingenuity and intellect of these young people, not just this year, but for years to come. And if you are ready to grow in the ways that these young people have demonstrated tonight, we have a free vision masterclass for you called Fear and Forgiveness on July 15th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via Zoom. You can log on from anywhere. It is free. You can just go to thevisionmethod.com. It's been a pleasure being with you. Thank you for helping me celebrate not only the legacy of my family and my hometown, but the legacy of young people everywhere. I'm Coach Christal. I'll see you next week. Have an amazing week.